Today we're talking about the Army's heavyweight long-range Grim Reapers, a vehicle and their operator so deadly that you're probably already sick of hearing their war cry after every single encounter with these legends. May I introduce to you the king of battle, the M109 Howitzer. King of battle, king of battle, king of battle. Why did I put this in the video? Why did I think this was a good idea? Yes, field artillery soldiers, we all know you're the king of battle because you keep reminding us every chance you get, and you're saying it loudly and often. But hey, if I were part of one of the oldest and deadliest branches in US history, I'd be shouting it from the rooftops too. King of battle? This job demands a special kind of crazy, and these folks deliver. Not only is field artillery one of the most demanding jobs in the US military, but it's also one of the most misunderstood, underappreciated, and underfunded. Until now. Behold the M109. Serious, who keeps putting this in the video? I'm trying to run a serious channel. Feast your eyes on the M109A7, the latest and greatest variant in a long line of 155 self-propelled howitzers fielded by the US Army's Armored Brigade combat teams. The A7 is the culmination of 60 years of trial and error and just straight up wizardry. Also, 13 series soldiers can do one thing and one thing well: turning bad guys into fine mist and shattered dreams. But to really appreciate this beast, we have to take a trip down memory lane to the OG that put this tracked war crime into motion. See, the concept of yeeting a 155 round into someone's personal space isn't new, but doing it on tracks and behind armor, that was the tricky part. The M155 towed howitzer, aka the Long Tom, did some solid work during World War II. But then someone thought to themselves, why not slap this bad boy on a tank chassis? Enter the M41 Gorilla. The M41 never saw action in World War II, but got its chance during the Korean War. It also unfortunately had an open-top gun compartment that made the crew as vulnerable as a snowman in July, and the engine was about as powerful as a 90s Mustang. Now, despite these flaws, the shoot and scoop concept was golden, so back to the drawing board they went, and out came the M44. Now, unlike the M41, the M44 had an enclosed gun compartment, giving the crew some much-needed armor protection even when firing the cannon. Great idea, right? Except firing the main gun would fill the compartment with poisonous fumes, which isn't exactly ideal unless you're into that sort of thing. This design flaw proved to be one too many, and the program was scrapped after only 250 M44s were ordered. Now, undeterred, the Army did what the Army does, and they kept pushing forward on their quest to find the long-range crater creator, and by 1963, they had their answer: the M109. This self-propelled hate stick sported an M126 main gun capable of slinging out 28 155mm rounds up to 14,600 meters. Plus, it had an M250 cal machine gun for when things got up close and personal. It was all looking good until it didn't. During its combat debut in Vietnam, about 200 M109s were deployed, and every single one of them broke down within a year. That's gotta be the most Army thing I've ever heard, and they wonder why Joes hate Motor Pool Mondays. So they brought them all back, gave them a longer barrel, a bigger caliber, and bumped the max range up to 18,000 meters and called it the M109A1. There's a lot of variants that come after this, so time for a speed run. The M109A2 got 27 upgrades, included a longer barrel, reliability improvements, and upped the ammo capacity from 28 to 36 rounds. Mo rounds, mo better, moving on. The M109A3 on the other hand, well, they basically took older A1s and upgraded them to A2 standards. I'm guessing they called it the A3 because A1 plus A2 equals A3. I can't prove it, but if you turn your brain off like the way the Army does, it does kind of sort of make sense. The M109A4 got some C-burn improvements and mechanical upgrades, and that's it. Lame, I know, but hold on for what's next. The M109A5 fixed its predecessor's issues with an upgraded cannon, giving it a max range of 22,000 meters or 30,000 meters with rocket-assisted rounds. That's almost 19 miles away. Impressive, I know, but then came the real swagger stallion. The M109A6 Paladin was a game changer. With upgraded electronics and computer systems, it transformed the M109 from a force multiplier to a straight up battlefield menace. It could fire a round, move, and fire again within 60 seconds. A well-trained crew could go from wide open throttle to a dead halt with rounds on target in less than 30 seconds. With the right ammo, it could hit targets up to 25 miles away, and it now carried 39 rounds and could achieve a max rate of fire of 4 rounds per minute for up to 3 minutes. So how do you possibly improve on that? Well, you hand it over to a company that knows a thing or two about building armored hate haulers and give them a blank check. Now, if the M109A6 was a huge step forward, then the A7 is the equivalent from going from a slingshot to a ballistic missile. First up, they upgraded the chassis to the Bradley Special. This made the A7 faster, more agile, and it was logistically smarter because, as all great logisticians will remind you, parts flow makes the blood flow. They don't actually say that, but they should. I should put that on a t-shirt. We've talked a lot about the M109, and even though it's got 39 rounds on tap, those rounds go fast, and eventually, you're gonna need to reload. Following around the M109s, the M992 handles ammo transport and local security. And when it's not feeding M109s with up to 90 155 rounds, it's keeping an eye out with its 50 cal or Mark 19 Freedom Spreader. You know, now that I think about it, we haven't even discussed the kinds of rounds the M109 can fire. Being a 155 weapon system, the M109 can shoot an absolutely stupid number of different rounds to include, but not limited to, high explosive, smoke, illumination, Excalibur precision GPS guided munitions, dual purpose improved conventional munitions, high explosive anti-tank, rocket assisted projectiles, base burn projectiles, and aerial denial artillery munitions, which is a fancy way of saying they have the ability to yeet anti-personnel landmines all over an area up to 18 miles away.
Sensational.
I'm gonna real quick touch on that Excalibur round because, well, it's nothing short of a game changer in the modern battlefield. The M982 Excalibur is a precision-guided GPS-enabled artillery shell that transforms the M109A7 into basically a long-range sniper. It's capable of hitting targets with surgical accuracy up to 40 kilometers or about 25 miles away. But that's just the beginning. Currently, Big Army is looking into a potential future upgrade to a 58 caliber barrel that could extend that range to a staggering 70 kilometers or 43.5 miles, making the Excalibur an even deadlier tool in the M107's arsenal. And let's be clear, when you've got an Excalibur in the chamber, you're not just dealing with standard fire missions. You're talking about the ability to take out high-value targets like enemy command posts, armored vehicles, and even fortifications with a single shot. It's the kind of firepower that makes you think twice before you get in the range of our guns. But the most impressive but least sexy upgrade this thing got isn't the ammunition or its increased range, but the 600-volt electrical system.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
This isn't just a minor tweak to the aging A6 variant. The M109A6 was maxed out at generating 18.5 kilowatts of power, which meant the A6 was literally consuming more power than it generated. The new A7 cranks out a whopping 70 kilowatts, giving it approximately 40 kilowatts of reserve power. This extra juice is going to be necessary when future upgrades come down the line for command, control, communications, and computer systems. Essentially, it turns the M107s into a high-tech powerhouse ready to handle any electronic upgrades the future might throw at it. Now, usually I'd end these videos discussing future systems that could potentially replace the current vehicle, but we're not going to do that today. What I found out researching this video was that field artillery has some of the most badass mottos of any of the units out there. So here are 10 of the best field artillery mottos that I found. Number 10, on time. Number 9, second to none. Number 8, let's go. Number 7, Red Thunder. Number 6, Deep Steel. Number 5, Never Broken. Number 4, Deep Strike. Number 3, Keep the Fire. Number 2, Do Not Touch Me. Number 1, 2nd 114th FA, Steel Rain. All right, I admit it, I'm probably a little biased because National Guard is close to my heart, but hey, the real winners out there are all you FA guys out there, slinging pain and taking names. This video was a blast to make, and I highly recommend you check out my previous videos for more insanely capable equipment. That's it for today, you guys. CT6 out. King of Battle.